Well, good evening. Hello there, and welcome to this Thursday evening craft along. My name is Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and I'm hoping that we've got some company. So let me just see where our friends are, and then we'll see if it worked. So Grace is keeping us company over in Brooklyn this evening, and so if you have any questions, then Grace is going to feed those questions through to me. But this is very much a relaxed craft along, and I just want to spend an hour or so with your good selves. Come on in and let's see what we can do. And breathe. I was going to get Linda Williams to come on up, but she's only just arrived and they've had quite the journey from Wales. So she sends her love and she says she hopes we have a great time, but she's in the kitchen having a cup of tea, a well-deserved cup of tea, and I think so too. So it's great to see her, and it'd be lovely to catch up with her later. So come on in and then we'll get started. How are you? How are you this evening? I'm fine. Everything's good here. Grace says the sound is great. Actually, Grace, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dial it down a little bit because I know sometimes I'm a little bit loud. Just bear with me 1 second and let me just tone it down a bit. Yeah. Too loud, too loud. Let me just bring it down a bit. I think that's much better, don't you? There you go. You see, you can turn me up, which is a lot easier than, and a lot less irritating, I should say, than me. Let me see if I come down too quiet now. That's about right, isn't it? Is that better? Yeah. Is that better, Grace? Thank you. Good. Yes, come on in. And we're going to have a nice evening. The sale has been going very well, the club members sale. So if you have been diving in there and taking good advantage of the sale, can I say that we really do appreciate your business. Hi, Deb, nice to have your company. Come on in. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who rocks up today to do this project with me. It was using, interestingly, which is another good reason to do it. It was using a couple of the products of the month. So another good reason to do it because we're only on the 19th. So, you know, we've got this deal going on at the moment with product of the month that if you put any one of these 3 items into a basket when you're shopping, then it unlocks double points on the entire basket. So, and we are using 2 out of the 3 products this evening. So let's just take a look at them while we're waiting for our friends to find us. So the first thing is the fabric strip card pack. Right. Well, I've already put it in my bag. So you can see here, these are so cool. I'm going to show you some artwork that the design team have done using this, but you can see we did this in the shack. Some of the pieces are different colorways. Some of them have got patterns on them, and then they're blank. Then there's patterned ones, and then it's blank. Then it's patterned, really cool, and then it's blank. This is the one we did in the shack, which was, if you remember, we used a heart and we did I found the artwork when I was clearing up today, actually. And I thought, well, there it is, I thought. And there it was. And now it's gone again in true Grey style. No, do you remember? We did something like this. Yeah, there it is. There's the original. And then when you take that away, do you remember? So that was the original. That was how we did it. And then we came up with the idea to do a mask. And then we thought keyhole would be really cool as well. And off the back of that, all this was born. And this is what we're going to use in our craft along this evening. So let's have a look. We've got that one. And then we've got the blank. And I'm going to go for So here we go. Look, this is the patterned one. I really like this colours. Now let's take a look at the book card that we're going to do. Let's look at the actual book card, so you can see the book card. Did she use a pattern or did she use a blank? Well, for the sake of this workshop, we're going to use a blank, but you could just as easily use a patterned one, because the patterned ones have a couple of blanks in them too, to put the words on for the books. So that'll be good. But you can see here, the point is that there are all these lovely colours. I'm going to take that one out because that's the one we're going to use this evening. So I'll take that out now. And then that's, I think, my favourite one. I love this. And having it blank is really very useful indeed. There are those apertures that Dave cuts out on the Heidelberg. They're really useful. And that brings me, oh, there it is. There's the Wuthering Heights. There are the book words, and there's the set that I can use this evening. Excellent. And there are some pieces that I'm hanging on to, some bits. So that's why having a folder is a great idea, because it gives you somewhere to put your bits. Right, that's the bit I'm going to need for later, so I'll hang on to that. Right, so part 1 of product of the month is the fabric strip card pack. Then part 2 is the stamps. So there's this fabulous set of stamps that are like strips as well, really useful for decorating, for framing, for infill, for panels, for borders, for so many different things. Also really brilliant for decorating these stripes. So that's what we're going to do. Show you how that works. So you pop that one in your basket at double points, pop that one in your basket at double points, and then the third one is the one with the little aperture heart toppers and a cute little set of stamps. So you can, any one of those 3 in your basket, double points on the whole basket. And that offer is for the entire month of February. So there you go, result. Then I thought, right, tick that box. I wanted to show you, first of all, I wanted to show you what the product of the month was. And then I thought, I'll show you what we're going to use for the project tonight. And then while you're gathering all your bits, because you might not have it all, I'll show you some artwork from the design team using said pieces. So let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to need for the project club, for the project this evening. Okay, so we're going to make this card. So the first thing we need is, let's get our bits together. We're going to need a piece of that card. Yeah, so I'm going to pop that there. So it's all written here for you. So we need a piece of this. Then we need the stamp set. So I put all this on a tray here. So I'll show you. Let's have a look what else. I've stuck it all in here. Got some mounts. I've got that to test my Posca pen. I've got the long mount. This is like 6 by 2.5. These long mounts are brilliant for these long strip stamps, you see. Ideal. So I don't need that set because I just found the other set, didn't I? I found this set that I've already used, so I'll keep that one fresh. So I've got that in there. Then you need the words for the books. That's not part of the product of the month, but if you're going to do that project, then you probably need those. Then we need, in order to get the colours going on here, I went with several different archival ink pads. This is for the writing. So I used just a nice selection that kind of went with that paper. So depending entirely on which paper you pick, you're going to pick 3 or 4 or 5 coloured ink pads to go with it. So you can be your own designer, decide. You can see that this is very tone in tone, isn't it? Yours. Right, so I've got that. Now, what else did I have on my list? I've got a white Posca pen so that I can put some white in there. So I've got a white Posca pen. Don't know why I've got this. More will be revealed. Oh, I know what I did. I did bring these Art Deco sentiments. I love these stamps. You know, the ones that were the January product of the month that came with the embedder stencil? Really cool. I thought I'd use those. Loads of you got those, so I'm hoping that loads of you have them. Excuse me. Then I used the embedders, the rectangular square embedders. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm just going to turn off. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Right, embedders, but this is more for the back, this bit. And then, right, let's take a sip of tea. Slow down. I've been going like the clappers today, like the proverbial clappers. Since 4 o'clock this morning. I know, mental. I'll tell you why. Because I woke up, we're doing this design, more will be revealed in March. There's this fantastic set of stamps down in the pipeline. And so yesterday, I spent the day drawing this set so that Dave could take it in to give to Jazz to turn it into a set of stamps, right? So, but I had to do the line art, the artwork. And then at 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up like bolt upright and I thought, it needs birds. Now ask me if I could get to sleep. It needs birds. Yes, Linda has arrived. She's having a cup of tea down in the kitchen. She's absolutely cream crackered. She sends her love. She won't be coming up to see you. She sends her love, but she's absolutely wiped. She's been on the road since 11 o'clock this morning. Yeah, so at 4 o'clock this morning, I thought, I've got to draw birds, but I've got to draw them before Dave goes to work. So there I was, and drawing these birds at 4 in the morning to give to Dave, to give to Jazz. And then I get the phone call from Jazz. Wow, these are great. This is exactly what we need. So that was worth it. And then I decided, right, well, I'm up now. I better blitz the house because we've got guests. and it's not till you start looking that you realise what a blinking mess your house is. Oh, I mean, there's, lived in is one thing, but there is a point where you have to do something. So that was today. I was like the proverbial white tornado in that house. The cats didn't know what was going on. It's bad when next to Dave, listen to this if you can, right? Next to Dave's chair in the living room was still the Christmas presents. I'm not kidding you. And the gift tags were all just piled up by his chair. And the wrapping paper, just saying, right? Oh no, bloody Christmas socks, Christmas book. Couldn't believe it. I don't go around that side. It's bad, isn't it? Oh no. I know, but there you go. It wasn't round my side, was it? Never mind. So back to the job at hand. And so then we need some other ink pads as well. So I've got these on. I've got these at the ready, my little baby oxides. So I've got them at the ready for when we need them. I need some spot-on sponges, and then a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We'll work that out as we get there. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure, but it's all here. And we'll start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. Oh, and the other thing you need for this little layer in here, right? So look, this is how it works. You have, I'll take this off, you've got a 7 by 7 inch card blank, and you've used an embedder. Remember I just said, don't lose that. I've got an embedder to cut that bit out, not to cut out, to emboss that bit. So that makes it a classy, cool piece of artwork. I'll take this off here. Right, and then, look, see, so now you've got another piece of, this is a companion paper that I, again, have picked to fit this particular colour. I went with Northern Lights. So in here, it depends. I mean, look, that colour would be glorious as well. Wouldn't that look lovely? That yellow, you see? So then all you do is, at the end, you just take your colour, and then you take your papers, whichever ones you choose, and then you just decide which one would make the best layer. I'm making a bit of a pig's ear of this. It's been a long day. Right, here we go. So then I hold it like that, and I look at that, and I think the green is very nice. Maybe. Yeah, the red would work. That would definitely work. That would look amazing. Check it out. Core. See? Lovely. I know that pink's going to look fantastic. Gorgeous. You see you can see why I went there. Even that one looks great. Look, that brings out the teals. So yeah, depending on which of the strip cards, are they called strip cards? This fabric strips you pick. Depending on which fabric strip you pick. Now I've lost it. Depending on which fabric strip you pick, you can get a really great colour. There it is, it's already out. Right. Northern Lights is a really good neutral earth tones one. So you can see that goes like that, that goes like that, that goes like that. That is stuck on. That little bit there is stuck on. Should we come in a bit closer so you can see better? Right, let's have a look. All right. So you can see that's stuck on there. That's stuck on there, that's stuck on there. Like so, like so, like so. Right. Good. How's it going, folks? Great paper, love tones. Me too, Teresa. Me too. And like I said earlier, apologies that for Linda not coming up here, but really she's had that's taken her 9 hours to get here. That's a long way. 8 hours. 8 hours. My maths isn't what it should be, but that's a long way. That's a long drive. So we'll let her drink her tea with Rob and Dave in the kitchen and enjoy their evening. Okay. Now, oh dear, oh dear. All right, Catherine. Right, now let's have a look. What we're doing next. Grace says that all is well in the chat room, so that's nice. And I think we're going to get started. So just bear with me a second while I get my act together. The first thing we need to do is decorate the paper. So we've picked our paper. We've picked our paper. Now I'm going to show you where this paper comes from. I think if you see it in situ, you'll understand. So I'm going to take that bit, pop that over there, and then I'm going to reconstruct. See, and I did a couple just so that for my own, yeah, 40,000 potholes, you're not kidding. There, you see. So that's that, and that's that. So that, what I'm showing you here, is that one of these cards is a quarter of this piece of card. See, there it is, like that. There it is. So it's a quarter of this card. This is 8 by 8, so that's 4 by 4. Okay. So that's all you need. 8 by 8, 4 by 4. Now, if you wanted to, and this is entirely up to you, you could stamp all of it, you see all these bits here. This is already stamped. I stamped all the way along there, all the way along here. Do you see what I'm getting at? Where the long stamps are. So that means that if I wanted to do this again or similar, if I chop it here, I turn it round and I've already got the books ready to go. So it's entirely up to you whether you stamp the whole thing and then chop it, or you chop it and then just stamp half. Your call. I think what I'll do is I'll cut it 4 inches this way and then I'll just stamp the whole thing. And then that way I've got some nice patterns here anyway, then. One for test and one for best for a start. Okay, so it's a 4 inches straight down there. That bit's late for later. Yeah. Now I've got that bit. Basically, I've got that bit and that bit now ready to cut. Now I can start stamping along there and so on. Yeah. So once I've got that, and we'll keep this here so that we know what we're actually doing. We'll start at this end. Let's just start at the side and then we'll work our way along. So we need the stamps. We need the stamp. Can I make a suggestion that we have a piece of copy paper to the side so we could try it on there, as just test it. One's for test and one's for best, right? So I'm just going to replicate what I've done here, just because it's easier. Okay. And if you've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, you know you're better off going easy. Travel gently, travel gently. Right, let's take a look. So I'm going to use this particular stamp, and when you drop it down on the table, it will find its place. Now, one thing worth noting about these stamps, if you haven't got them yet, you see, because they're so long, you can bend them on the mount. So if you wanted to make a curve, look, you just hold it like that and then bend it round. You can make a circle. You can make a wreath. Look, you can bend. You can make you can go all the way around. You could do 2 halves. You could do a square. These are so versatile. Okay, and because they're handmade and award-winning, you know, they just ping back. So I'm just going to use this line along here to position it. So I want it to be straight like that. And then I'll offer it up to make sure that it's straight, because it has to stay on that book. Or I can move it over and do it on another book, but I want to keep it on this book. Okay, so if it goes off the page, it goes off. If it goes off the edge, that's all right. The book's off the edge. Yeah, that's it. I just got to make sure. Now, so for this particular, let's get started. For this particular color, I'm going to go for an archival. I mean, if you haven't got a lot of ink pads, you could just go dark brown for all of it, just like coffee or potting soil or one of those ink pads. And you could use Distress Oxide as well. I just decided to use archival because it's permanent and it just reminds me of books. Right, so let's have a look. I'm going to ink this up. I'll pop that down there so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to ink this up and then make sure, because often you have to kind of season the stamp, make sure that it's warmed up a bit. Let's just check it. We'll press that there like so, press along there, and then we'll decide whether it's good enough. Yeah, not bad. Oh, hello. Let's go again. Now we've done it a second. Sometimes you just have to go a couple more times. Let's go again. Yeah, a bit more ink. Let's try again. Okay, see what happens if I ink again. Just want to try it. It's getting better. Right, see, it just needs a couple of attempts, doesn't it? And then we know that it will work. So that's it. 3rd time's a charm. Ready? So I'm going to go along there now. Now, if I want to make sure that I don't go into the green book, only because it just wouldn't. This is quite a. It's quite important that you don't go over into the other area. Okay. Right, there we go. So, welcome to this Thursday evening craft along. I hope that you're joining in, and if you're not, then use it as a tutorial for later. Right, I think this will be perfect. And I'm just going to stamp that across there like so, and then off the other side. Right, that'll do. And now I can decide. That's good enough. Yeah, lovely. That's it. And I know that even if I nearly went on the edge, see, I caught it there. So it's a good thing to have that to protect that edge. So now I've done that one. Okay. And actually I'm doing two of these cards at the same time here. So now I shall return that one to the side, and I'm going to look for the second one. So on the green one now, it's the little hearts, that little row of hearts. Can you see them? Okay, little row of hearts must be here somewhere. There it is. So now I'm going to go for the little row of hearts on the green. So I'll just ink that up like so. Make sure it's straight. Now I'll lift this off here, and just to make sure that I stay on the green, there we go. I'll just always isolate the book that I'm working on, like that. Okay, so I've just got that little green bit there. Now I'll put the lid on that one, and now I'm going to go for a green. What have we got next? So I'm going for, yeah, I'm going to go for hearts along there. Let's see what we get. Just going to ink up that green. What green is this, I hear you ask? Peat moss. Okay, well, let's see what we get when we do pink peat moss. It's a nice project, and it's, yeah, lovely. And you wouldn't expect to see books, but it looks so pretty. Now, I'm staying up this end only because that's going to be this is my main end. So because I know that that's going to be my end, I wanted to kind of make sure that those hearts go right up to there. Okay, let's see what we got. Ink that up, hover with the handle. Okay, and then I'm just going to, let's have a look what we got. And then we'll just put that pattern through there. Nice. So I've got my that, and that. There we are. So that's that one done. So if we turn it around like that, you can see, let me show you the progress. You can see there are the flowers. There are the hearts on that one. Then we've got this large one, which we're going to leave open because that's Jane Eyre. Then we're going to leave Wuthering Heights, this one, the lilac one. Now we've got another dark one there, and I'm going to go back to the hearts again. I'm going to do another one on there. I'm just going to completely emulate what I did before. Right, so I'm going to pop that on there like so. Nice. Isolate the bits there. Now let me just check the length of that heart stamp. See, it's longer than the actual book. So just got to keep your wits about you a little bit and just mask off that area there. So we'll mask that off so we don't go off into, so we've got two bookmark things going on here. And then this one, let's make a little tear in there. Right, and then we're just going to go. Right, that'll do. Good. So now I've isolated that one there, and I'm just going to put the heart straight through. So let me just check that I stay on the masking tape. Wunderbar. Right, back to the plum. Now it's had green on it, so let's see what happens if we add a bit of plum to it now. How are we doing, friends? We all right? How are we doing? I'm going to take a day off tomorrow and spend it with my friend Linda. Yeah. The weather's not up to much. We were going to go to Hever Castle, but I don't think... There you go, that'll do. I don't think that the weather's very promising. So maybe we'll just sit in the kitchen with a pot of tea and have a good old chinwag. What's that there? Yeah. Friday. The sale ends tomorrow at midnight, the club sale. So if you haven't, or you want to, or you want to go back, then tomorrow's the day. And that double points basket trick works with the sale as well. So that's good. Now, let's see. See, what would be really nice as well is... That would look good. So you needed to do that though, didn't you? What works is if you had some gold embossing powder. You know, that would look so sharp as well. So we'll do this. And then when we've done this, we'll take a break and we'll look at some artwork and then we'll start again. How's that sound? Remind me that we're going to look at some artwork. Okay, so let's have a look. We've done that one. We've done that one. We've left that one. We've left that one out. We've done that one. We're going to do Oliver Twist there. All right, the green one. We're going to do some spots on that green one. That will look good. Nice. So we're going to cover up the bits around the outside. Once you get into the flow of this, I'll just take that one there. Lift that off there. Protect the green. Excuse my head, friends. Right, and I'm going to do the bubbles. This dotty one here, I think. What else we got? Yeah, I think I'll go with the dots. I think I'll go with those dots. Right, I need to cover up the ends because the dots is a short one. We're going to go twice, I think. Let's just do that. So this is the one now. Now, what colour do I want to go? I'm going to go back to that green. I'm going to use the green. So you see, less is more, isn't it? You're going... I think the green would probably work best. So we'll replace this one on its handle. I think it's always a good idea, good housekeeping. In the next month, I should be leaning into and focusing a little bit on how to be more zen in our art, you know, and how to, yeah, just how to enjoy the processes. You know, I'm always talking about it, but I think if we took a whole month and just lent into that kind of philosophy of... Oh, hang on, let's just test it first. Yeah, nice. Of really experiencing the moment, you know. We're always talking about, gets bandied around a lot, mindful crafting. You know, everybody's talking about it. But it's actually when you just stop and feel it and do it, you kind of really start to understand the benefits of crafting. I mean, I think you and I, we know already, don't we? Anybody that's in the shack or does craft alongs like this with me, come on, we know how invaluable getting with your hands is, and we just do, don't we? But when you I've got some really nice things lined up. We've got some really nice things lined up for you in March, and it really does kind of focus on this idea of experiencing what you're doing and not letting your mind go off at an angle, you know, or at a tangent. Now let's see, where are we? So we've done that one and that one. Now we've done that one. So we're going to leave that one. Then we've got this one. So I've got that one there with Hamlet, but it's got stamps. It's a combination on this one. So let's take all this off and let's find the orange one. And then when we've found the orange one, so you see well, it's not orange, it's a kind of a creamy colour. It looks orange because we added quite a little bit of colour to it afterwards. And that's half of it, isn't it? That's half the point of this. So let's just go to that one and we'll just cover up the outsides again. To be honest, when I was doing this on my own, I didn't worry so much about doing this, about covering up the sides of the neighbouring books. But I think it's a good idea, especially, I'm going to take that one, especially if it's so wide. Now check it out. See, this is very wide. You have to have very good eyesight to ensure that this stamp stays inside. You know, it's got to be to the millimeter. But if you're off by a bit and then it wanders into the other book, that's weird, right? So let's see. And it takes seconds, really, doesn't it, to mask off? You just make it part of the process and then it'll be fine. There you go. So we've got that bit. So let's just check. We're going to go there. So this is the top end. So we're going to go there and there. That'll do. Yeah, okay. I may leave a little end. Right. Tea rose for this one. I'm going to go for a tea rose, a little bit orangey colour, light orangey colour. See what we've got. I think Grace has got all the different, all the different codes. The thing about getting little stamps like this, little ink pads, sorry, is that you get a really good selection, you know. And then if you find a particular colour that you like, then you can buy it in large. But to have a really good kind of selection of colours, the more cost-effective way to go. Look, see, it's a good job that I did this. That would have been a right how's your father. All over the Great Expectations side. There you go. And that's why we do it. And this one, you see, it tessellates. Well, of course it does. It's just stripes next to each other. So you can see, you'll never know where the join was. And then that little bit there, because we thought, because you can tessellate easily, and you can tessellate that one easily, easier to, you could have two patterns. You get more bang for your buck, see? Always thinking about how to maximize on it. I'm just covering that bit up because in a minute I'm going to stamp straight through that area. Right, here we go again. Yeah, Grace. It's a bit weird. This is Linda Williams. See, she's here already. She's always with us. When she's, like we say weird, Linda says weird. She's Welsh, obviously. And because Grace, she's an Audible reader, isn't she? She reads audiobooks. So she's always aware of accents and dialects, you see. And so she picks up very quickly because she's learning all the time. And she picked up very quickly that Linda says weird instead of weird, which she thought was quite weird. It's lovely, really. Now, so we've got that one, and that one. That one, and that one. Let me take all this away. We can use all this. If you want to be frugal, just pop that on the table next to me. Not wasting it, look. Just put it there. Let it dry out. I know, sometimes I know you think, gosh, you know, I've wasted a lot of sponges. I see she's got a new sponge every time. Do you know life's too short? I've got a warehouse full of sponges. If you had a warehouse full of sponges, would you nurse a sponge and get it all over your hands on TV if you had a warehouse full of sponges in the next building? No, that's right, you wouldn't, would you? Just finished listening to the Crimson Moth and started the Rebel Witch, enjoying both. I know. And Angela, I know. She's good, isn't she? Now, let's see. So we've got that colour and that colour. Now, let's see what we've got. Then we'll take a break. It's a neck break because I've noticed, and I think it's because I've been overdoing it, my neck's starting to give me stick. So the trick, I remember, is to, every 20 minutes, you have to look up like that and then back down. And then up and over and that way. Yeah, just before it gets bad again. So let's have a look what we've got. This is our topper. This is our card here. Remember? Look, I'll frame it and then you know. Right, that's that, Roberta. So you've got that one. This one's got to be made into a book. Book, 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 book. Loads of books. Turn it around that way and really see it. And this is 4 inches. Exactly 4 inches. So if I took that one there and I turned it round, it's exactly the same size. So now what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to do it now while I've got it in front of me. And I'm just going to go to 4 inches. Bosh. There we go. There you go. That's that. And then I've got another one to do later if I want one. In fact, I've got loads. See, I think these are really super for, you know, for gift voucher or for book vouchers or for birthday cards with books. Because let's face it, we do give a lot of books. Well, we give a lot of books, I know. Now, before we carry on, let's just pop that to one side. 2-minute break. We're going to have a look at some artwork. How's that sound? I'm loving the Traitor of Sherwood. Yeah, Sherwood is, oh, that's a great one. That is, the language is quite fruity in that one. Yeah. There's one, I can't say it because I'll get slung off Facebook, but there's one line in there that is so bad. I know that I was listening to it and Dave, he was in the room and I know, I was doing pottery and he was at the other end of the garage downstairs doing woodwork and I was listening to Grace at my end in the pottery studio and this particular sentence came out and he was obviously listening as well and both of us just roared with laughter because it is very fun, especially when it's your daughter saying it in this really strong, like northern accent. It was very, very funny. And if you listen to it, you will know immediately when you get to that line, you'll think of Dave and me in the garage curling up laughing. You can't help but laugh. It's very, very funny. It's not supposed to be funny, it just is. Right, let's have a look at this artwork so we can have a look at some of the what people have done, what the designers team have done with these smashing fabric strip papers. Look, just ideas. Look, Linda Spencer shows she used the Mr. Painter, Deborah Wheeler. I love what she did. You know, just that continuous. That's very good. Tina Morris, nice. Busy. This is a good one. Deborah McMullen. Debbie McMullen, she's in the building with yourselves. So you see how she's cut it up and then mounted it? This is a good one. Tina Morris. I like this one. So it's a shaker card. Isn't that nice? And she's used, oh yeah, very clever. So she's wrapped little strips. This is all little bits. Hey, check that out. And then she's decorated one of those little heart shapes. This is a good one. Tina Morris. There's another one, Tina Morris. So she's added stamps to that. Isn't that clever? That's those top. This is a nice one, Sheila Metzeler. So Sheila's taken just a little bit of Mr. Painter. Doesn't that look fabulous? Oh, nice, so good. And this is another one by Sheila. Sheila really took this on board. So she's got the hearts and the strips and then the little triangle people. There's now wrong with strong northern accent. I don't think so. I think I love strong northern accent. I went to Manchester. I was in Salford for 4 years, I'll have you know. 4 years, and I bloody loved every minute of it. It was the best days of my life. Yep, it was as well when I was at university. Absolutely loved it. The Northerners are my favourites. And I lived in the 4th year, I lived in Rusholme, which was on the other side of Manchester. And now it's like Curry Mile. But in those days, it was it was Irish pub, Indian, Irish pub, Indian, Irish pub, Indian. It was a great place to live for a student. It was pretty much opposite Manchester City's football ground. It was great. Loved it. Banff Road, number 6, Banff Road. Those were the days. Now, let's have a look. So we've got Sheila Metzeler again. See, she's used those little heart cutouts, cut them, coloured them, put them on top. Isn't that lovely? Sheila Metzeler. With our hippie chicks. Well, they were made for that, weren't they? Aye, they were. There you go. And my mate, my best mate at university, she was from Sheffield. She had a strong accent. If you think the Mancunians have a strong accent, she had a really strong. I remember she was having a go at, we were in the Union Bar and she suddenly said, "Ye thee thou thyself and see how thou likes it." And I was, what is going on? You know, oh, London. They were going for it. And then the other mate, Guthrie, Caroline Guthrie, she was from Leeds. So a lot of northern girls. It was fabulous, really. Yeah, it was good. Those are the days. So this is lovely here, you see. So she's used one of the stamps. Who's that? Linda Spencer. I love that. Yeah. And then this is a great idea. Linda Spencer again. So she's taken a couple of the strips and turned them into candles. Isn't that lovely? Hey? Isn't that great? Crafted by Jane Telford all the way up in Manchester. There you go. You wouldn't recognise Manchester now. No, I probably wouldn't. I didn't recognise it last time I went up with when Grace was at university up there. I didn't know which end to start at. But my favourite building was the Manchester Library, the round. Is it still there? Tell me they haven't taken that down. You must still have the most phenomenal library in the world in Manchester. It is still there. Tell me it is. That was my joy. Manchester Library. Oh, what a beautiful building. It's like something out of Hogwarts. It was just phenomenal. Yeah. Tell me, Jane, is it still there? Isn't this lovely? I love the way that's been done. That is Jane. There you go, Jane Telford. Yeah, like that. Look, the houses. Clever, eh? And another one by Jane Telford. Teamwork makes the dream work. Nice. Does indeed. Deborah Wheeler. I like what she's done. Still there. I should hope so too, Jane. That would be criminal if they got rid of that. That's a lovely one with the heart there. Aren't these gorgeous? Here's another one from Debbie McMullin. See, using the heart, stamping on the heart, laying the heart on the fabric strips. Doesn't that look fantastic? Because that gives the illusion that this is underneath, but it's not. Isn't that clever too? I know. There's another one from Jane Telford. Oh, those little folk art stamps. I do like them. Oh, I do like them. Hey, this is a good one. Linda Spencer. So you see how she's gold embossed it? That does look gorgeous. Isn't that lush? That looks like really nice wallpaper. So, break's over. I've got another pile of artwork to show you afterwards in the next break. Now, put this to one side. That lot there, that's going to be shown in a minute. Now we crack on with our part 2. Now come the words. Ready? Are you ready? So I think it's a good idea to turn it around this way. So now we can actually see. So the first words are Jane Eyre. This is where you really get into like a rhythm. This is the rhythm. And again, when we get into March, this is exactly what it's all about, is this kind of repetitive rhythm. And it's a very calming, very calming. But instead of thinking, oh, this is repetitive in a negative sense, instead of thinking of it in a, oh, it's the same thing again and again and again, what you have to do is adjust your thinking to a kind of a rhythm. And what you'll find is it's like a wonderful meditation if you can do that. And this particular project, I remember when I first did it and I started getting into the rhythm, I really enjoyed that. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Jane Eyre and I'm going to offer her up and she's going to go in there. And then I'm going to decorate her on either side. And if I take the words, you'll see the words have got these little patterns down the side. So I'm going to take that pattern and I'm going to mount it on a mount. That'll do, so I can see it. I need to be able to see it. Right, so I've got that and that. Hi, Nicola. I just saw your name flash through. Right, so I'm going to do that. But before I do that, can you see that this is a bit darker? Right, so let's give the book a little bit more depth before we carry on. So I'm going to do that there like so. And I'm going to do this there like so. So I'm just going to mark off those two sides. Annie says, can we have the titles on a Groovy plate? Yep. And do you know what? About 2 hours ago, I texted Jazz and asked her exactly the same thing. Have we done it in Groovy yet? Because I was getting ready for this. And she said, no, but we did discuss it and we thought it was a good idea. And I said, please, can you do it tomorrow, dear? And she said, she will. So watch this space, because I think that'd be amazing for books, for parchment spines. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Right. Okay. So now we're going to change the book before we stamp, because if you stamp beforehand, then you go in and put shade in. Chances are, just saying, that you might smear the words. Chances are you won't, but you might. Best to do it this way around. So we've got that. We've got that. We need to definitely cover up this end, don't we? Okay. And that ends the end of the card. There is nothing at that end. So we know where we are now. We know where this is all still part of the card. So you don't want to, you've got to kind of have your wits about you. And then what we'll do is, I'll just cover that bit up. All right. Surgery, this bit here. What color shall I use to, what color shall I use? Just thinking. Did I write it down? No. But I bet I'll find something good. So I need something. Do you know what? Old paper sounds pretty appropriate to me. I wonder if that would work. I've got old paper. Let's get a selection of ones. I'm going to use old paper. Rusty Hinge sounds pretty good. I just want some dull. I don't want colours. I don't want colours, if you know what I mean. I want book colours. Antique linen. That sounds like a good one. Yep. Antique linen. I've got, oh, what about vintage photo? Don't know. Could be any one of these. These are all kind of colours, not colours. Look. That'll do. Right. Now let's give it a go. Testing. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of, the book's got to have a bit of shade, hasn't it? So we'll go in there. How about, I've got a feeling Rusty Hinge might be a good one for this. Cool, that's a bit orange. Okay. Does she wish she'd written it down? Yes, she does. It's that edge, isn't it? Just that edge. Okay, let's go in that one. All right, I'm going to just that edge then. There you go, that'll do. So it's just that edge of the book. Don't want to do the whole thing, otherwise we might as well just... We don't want to do the whole book. We just want to do the edge. So I'm right up on the... This is the... Look, once you get into it, it's coming a bit closer so you can really see it. Yeah, ready? So you want to leave it light down the middle, but then just a little bit of it. And you can always go back and add a bit more. Right, if you think that that's a little bit orange, yes, she does. And you can always tone it down a bit with a bit of grey. Right. That's more like it. So this is an old bookcase. Do you know, I was looking at some old books today while I was blitzing the house in readiness for Linda's arrival. And I found some old books. Beautiful old books. Beautiful old Japanese books, actually. Why I've got Japanese books, I will never know. But they do look amazing. Right, this is going to be just perfect now. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. So it's just a combination of different colours. Now I've got that colour. Should we have a little peep? Okay. Sorted. Right, I've prepped that. So I've done that with an oxide, but the top I'm going to do with a... archival. So I've got a coffee colour. Let me just check it, see if this is the right colour. So you've got to just check everything. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll look good. So I've got the coffee colour. I think that'll do. Or I've got sepia. No, come on, Grey. Be here all night. Right. Where's Jane Eyre gone? Let's try her out. What's the weather like in Brooklyn, Gracie? Oh, that's lovely. And it's even spelt right, which is always a bonus. Look. Right, you ready? So we're going to go Jane Eyre there. Jane Eyre, right in the middle. I'm going to stand up for this. I always stand up for this. Right, Jane Eyre in the centre and plant. Perfect. And then I'm going to put the dividers, make it look like a book. This is the bottom. And that's the top. Okay. Now let's see what we've got. Once you've done one, I think it's always a good idea to put lids on, just because otherwise it gets a bit messy. No, you see, I've already gone wrong. Weathered wood. Right, let's have a look. Nice. Book number 1. Perfect. It's nice, isn't it? And you've changed the colour a little bit with that. Now let's go to the second one. Lilac, we're going Wuthering Heights this time. I'm going to go Wuthering Heights. So I need to isolate that book now. What's the first thing we're going to do before we do anything else? Go on. You tell me. You tell me. What we're going to do next? Let's check the colour. What do you think? I think a little bit of depth would be good. What colour do I want to go? What depth? Do you know? Maybe a little bit of plum. Do you think it's a bit too dark? Yeah, do you know? I think I might regret that. Let's go. Stick to the plan, Grey. What about that colour there? I wonder if shaded lilac would be too light. Well, there's only... No, that's definitely too light, isn't it? Okay, forget shaded lilac. Let's go for very light Villainous Potion. Basically, what I'm saying is you just got to work it out for yourself, haven't you? Which colours have you got? Which books have you got? Okay. I think this will work. That's dark. But I reckon that'll go well. I just got to be careful that I don't come over the side of the... Let's get in there a bit like that. I wonder if I used a bit of... Let me do it before you do it. You just sit back and have a cup of tea a minute and let's have a look. Gracie says, overcast but not so cold in Brooklyn. Apparently might get another huge snow dump this weekend though. Oh dear. Now let's see what we've got now. If I do this colour, this is the plum. Let's see what happens if I add a bit of... See, I'm getting rid of loads before I go into my book though, because this is quite a permanent, isn't it? You see, get over this side, see what we got. It's just trying to give a bit more depth. Cool, that's darker. Okay, well, that's a bit of shadow now. Right, so we've done that. Let me just do it first and then you decide whether you like it or not. Right, what we've done Jane Eyre, so we put her back. See, this is it. If you're thinking about Wuthering Heights, Grace, you sure about that? I think we'll go with Wuthering Heights, darling. Right. Wuthering Heights. We're going to pop that in there now. So we've protected the whole area and we're just going to go with Wuthering Heights. And I will say, colours-wise, what about... We need a dark, don't we? I wonder what frayed burlap's like. Should we just check it? It's quite a cheesy green. Let's try coffee again. Coffee's quite good, actually. Yeah, let's go coffee. Right, you don't need loads of different browns. They'll change colour when you stamp them. Let's just check. Wuthering Heights is pretty good. Now, it's a one-line stamp. Do you remember? Remember our little trick that we have? If we've got one-line stamps, we grab a little... let's have a look. What have I got here? I just need a stamp that's like an anti... That'll do. Anti-wobble? It's an anti-wobble. I just got to make sure I don't ink it up. My anti-wobble. That's better. Yes. Okay, so I'm going in there. It's going to look good when it's done. Do you have a friend who's a real bookworm who loves books? So this is the perfect birthday. This is the perfect birthday card for Grace because she's a book She's making her living, her life off books, you know. Now let's see, we got those lines. So now we're going to use the double line. There we are. Let's use the double line. There are lots of different decorations for the spine. So let's use this one, right? Grace, it's your birthday soon, darling. Guess what you're going to get? I think you're going to get a handmade birthday card. I can just see it. It's going to be lovely. Look, and do you know what's really nice with this? It's a building job. You watch. We'll take this away. It's coming together. So we've got Jane there. Now we've got Wuthering Heights. And the thing is, we did a couple of cards in between. So, which is really good because it means that you haven't got to do one book after another. So this is a good one, Oliver Twist. Love this book, by the way. Did anybody or has anybody seen Oliver Twist up in London, the new musical? We went to see it at Christmas. Grace, actually, you were there as well, weren't you, darling? And yeah, we went up to Shaftesbury Avenue to watch the new musical. It was absolutely cracking, wasn't it, Grace? I'm going to see what happens if I use a... Let me try this. Sepia. Cool, that's dark, isn't it? Okay. See if I add a bit of sepia down the bottom. Just a bit. So you can use... Oh, a bit of a smear. That's all right. So you can use Distress Oxides. You can use archivals. Let's get a bit of depth going on that one there. It's a special card, Grace. This one. Right, that'll do. In fact, I'll leave that out and I'll do the title with that one as well. So next title, we've done Wuthering Heights. On my birthday card, maybe you can write the books I've narrated in your lovely handwriting. Oh, Grace, I can. In fact, I will. Oliver Twist, there he is. I will. Do you mind if it's this colour? It's not that I've just got a lot going on at the moment. Now, Oliver Twist, let's have a look. But it's that rhythm, you see. You isolate the that's nice. Okay, Oliver Twist. You isolate the book, you shade the book. That's a bit dark. What do you think? That's very dark. I'm thinking it might just scream in the middle of the books. Let's try this one instead. It's better. Coffee. I think sepia is just a little bit too much. Yeah, Oliver Twist, fantastic musical. Perfect. Oliver Twist. Yeah, 2 lines. Let's have a look what we got. There they are. 2 lines, and they're next to each other. You don't even have to double stamp them. Yeah, it was quite... I remember going to see the original. No, not that one. I remember going to see the original Oliver Twist years ago in London, and then and it was just so lovely to go back again with kids, with Grace and Mark and Dave. And see the new production. It's really quite something if you haven't seen it. And then we'll take all this off. And we're just going one book at a time. Look, isn't it smashing? See? Right. Then we've got the green. Then we've got the Great Expectations. Great Expectations. Pip. And what's the name of the woman? Miss. One that got left at the altar. Come on. Miss Haviland? No. Miss Hathaway? Miss. What's her name? My mum loves books. Well, then this might be a brilliant card for your mum, Catherine. Here we go. Come on, Miss Havisham. Thank you. Thank you. Can't remember her name. God, do you remember when all the rats are... Isn't it funny what you remember? All I remember is the rats all over the blinking table. Right. Ding dong. Great Expectations. So you pick your cards, you pick your books. What have I forgotten to do? Nearly. I'm going to go for, I'm going to mix a little bit of that in there. See what we've got. See, if you smear, it's not so dark. If you pounce, up and down, bounce, like that, it gets darker. It's quite dark now, isn't it? So you can mix the colours up as well. Like that. I feel I want another colour. Don't want to make it too dark, but what's this colour? Green? Well, yeah, but you never know. It might look really good. That kind of... Yeah. Who says? What was that then? Frayed burlap. Oh. Okay. Right, next one. And now we have Great Expectations coming up. And coffee. 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 And yes, we're doing the same thing over and over again. And yes, that's the magic. It's that repetitive. Therein lies the... It's like magic, really, because you still have to concentrate. You can't not think about what you're doing. That's not an option. You still have to concentrate, very much so. But it just... It gives you just so much relief, I find, for my brain. It's like pattern building. Because you end up with a really nice... Doesn't that look good? It's looking good, isn't it? Uh-huh. Right, now the orange one. The orange one, what we've got here, we're going to do Hamlet. Love that font for Hamlet. But I think I want to add a little bit of depth. So I'm going to just add that there like so. And across the top. Just because I want to add a bit of depth there. And I probably want to protect that top part there. Who's crafting along with me? Is anybody crafting along with me? It's good reference anyway, even if you... I'm going for a bit of tea rose. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose those ones and just stick with the archivals here. Right, let's see if I get a bit of tea rose in there. Okay, here we go. Right, just down that edge there. Way, tea rose with a bit of brown there. That's quite nice. Tea rose. What's this here? Coffee. Get off. There, this is going to look good. Bit of depth. That'll do. Right, and then this one is... we've done Great Expectations. We put them back. They're lovely, these books. We had great fun picking the books. So we picked all the lovely books at work, right? And then Jim came along. Jim. And he said, well, you can't use that one because it's still in copyright. You can't use that one because it's still... So Winnie the Pooh was out the window. And you know, and all the ones that we picked. So that thinned it right out. And then we started again. And that's why you wouldn't believe the hassle that you could get, the problems that you could get yourself by putting Winnie the Pooh up the side of here. You would not believe how much trouble you could get into. And that's a sad indictment of the world. But it's the world we live in, I'm afraid. It is what it is. Right, I'm going to go for that little, lovely little circular one now. And I'm going to see if I can get it in between a couple of those. Now, let's see. Yeah. It's the world we live in, friends, isn't it? I reckon that's going to be dynamite. I probably should have put it a bit closer to Hamlet. Shall I put another one in? Yeah, go on then, Barbara. Oh, okay. Yes. Love. Right, that's what I want. Do you know that sense of satisfaction? Look at that. Might look great. See a little bit. See how it looks a little bit more curly, that one. So it goes in and out. Bit of light on there. Right, last one. Sense and Sensibility. Who wrote that? Austen. Austen? Jane Austen? I don't know. Jane Austen, I think. Probably wrong. Let's have a look. Right. I know I wrote Hamlet though. and I know who wrote Oliver Twist. Right, what we got here? Sense and Sensibility. Hamlet. Back you go. Period dramas. We do like. It was Jane Austen. Thank you. Thank you. I don't trust myself anymore. Right. That'll do. Right, this is a long, thin one, so I've got to concentrate. And I'm going to use, what colour am I going to use? Coffee. I'm going for coffee again. Okay. Do you have a favorite book? Do you have a book that you would actually say is your absolute favorite book ever? Go on. What is it? I don't think I have a favorite book. I have a book that is very, very close to my heart because it was the first book my dad ever gave me, which is Wind in the Willows. So that's a real, to me, it's an emotionally beautiful book because it was the first book my dad gave me, and then it was the first book that we read together. So, from that point of view, was it my favorite book? Nah, not really. It wasn't, it's probably the most emotionally loaded book for me because of who gave it to me. But my favorite book, Rebecca. Yeah, I like Rebecca. Rebecca's good. I bet Grace would say, Grace said Fagin was fit. Fagin was fit. She's still in Shaftesbury Avenue with Oliver. Right, what have we got here? I'm going to use the little crosses. I'm using all of the little column binding things. I'm sure they've got a name, and I'm sure that you'll tell me if I ask you nicely. Now, let's see. This is lovely. Just make sure that I've got a cover. And then I think, my friends, oh, rats. I forgot to put see, because I was thinking about my favourite book, and I wasn't thinking about putting a shadow on my other favourite book. So, well, folks, let's see what happens if we go in afterwards. That's the only thing I can do. You didn't tell me, did you? You didn't say stop. Right, come on then. Right, because, yeah, I want to get a little bit of depth on this one because it's at the end of the bookcase as well, isn't it? A bit of depth along there, a bit of grunge. Oh, wait till you see these new stamps. I cannot tell you. I said to Jazz today, because we often, we talk about our kind of thing, what we really love, right? So we made these stamps today. Well, we designed them. I drew them, then we got them on the computer, and then you can lay them up and see whether my drawings have actually translated. So they translated. So then I get to see if what I've got in my head works. Anyway, so Jazz, she's all excited. She pings me these pictures and says, "Look at this, look at this, look at this." And I said to her, if this isn't like, when you do something and you think this is irresistible, this is absolute. I don't say this often about things that we do, but this particular set that we've just come up with is, in my opinion, irresistible. Okay, and when you see it, right, when I present it to you on TV, and I'll say to you, remember that irresistible set that I told you about when we were doing the craft along together? And then I'll say, this is it. And I said to Jazz, if they don't see what we see, I give up. Because when you do something and you think, yeah, this is just irresistible. There's no other word for it. You just want to do it. You want to do it. And you know that every time you add another little bit, it will be amazing, and it is. And it's just such a beautiful landscaping thing. So I'm really excited about that. It'll be a couple of weeks away yet, but I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you'll really enjoy these. You know, every now and again, it doesn't happen often when I go, this is the one. This time, this is the one. This would be, you know, like favourite books, favourite stamp sets. It's coming. Yeah, really nice. Right, so break, neck. We need a break. So we'll just pop them. Let's have a look at what we've got because we're pretty much there, friends. Look. I mean, look, isn't it lovely? So, you know, all we've got to do is add a little bit of white in there, a little bit of white in there. Yeah, look, we're just about, aren't we? Hmm? And now you know how it got done. And it is exactly what I meant. It's what I was saying. It's about that that repetitive rhythm, you know. And it's so once you understand that it's not a time suck, you know, it's like embroidery, you know, and if that's not repetitive, I don't know what is. But you've got to concentrate, haven't you? You've got to concentrate every single stitch, you know, and it's very repetitive. It's like knitting, very repetitive. But it's like, oh, no. And it's the same as that kind of stamping. It's the same process again and again and again and again. And it's just, as opposed to gel print or mixed media where you never know where it's going and you never know, you know, that kind of exciting, exploratory, unpredictable kind of art that has a whole other purpose to me, right? It's also takes you out of your head, but in a different direction, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's have a look at this artwork, part 2. So this is gorgeous, using the Sheila Metzeler. She's on fire at the moment. Look, just so lovely. This tag and then ribbons. Isn't that pretty? This is a lovely one. Sonia Goodliff. I love what she's done. So you've got lines there. Get well soon. Let me pan out a little bit. It's so big. It's such a big card. Let's check it out. Isn't it lovely with the white? I love that, Sonia. Yeah, it's very nice indeed. This is gorgeous. Sonia again. Core. Do you know, Sonia, this is the sort of artwork I'm going to show. This is right. This is funny. Okay. So we were at the open days last year and Eileen Godwin was there. Eileen says to me, because I was going around heckling and chatting and that, have you got your tickets for the open days yet, by the way? Get them, please. Pretty please. Anyway, so Eileen Godwin's there, right? And she's using these these little enameling things from Ranger. So I said to her, I said, what's that? She said, you need these. I said, do I? She said, you do. Wait a minute. I said, she said, they're brilliant. And I said, what do you do with them? And she said, well, you make like, they're like false enameling. So it looks like a brooch, or you get these really glossy little accents. But the glossy accents is obviously transparent. These are white and black, and they come in little bottles. She said, you need them. You should order them in. Your customers would love them. I said, okay. Okay. Anyway, months later, I listened to Eileen because I have a very, very high opinion of her, right? And if she says, you need them, I say, okay. So then I say to Paul, what's all this stuff in the warehouse? Well, he said, well, you ordered it. I said, did I? Okay. So then I texted Eileen a couple of weeks ago. I said, Eileen, remind me again why I've got a 200. Yeah, you worry about buying one. Said, Eileen, remind me again why I bought 200 of these from Ranger. So, and then I understand. So say, for example, Made with Love by Sonia, you see this beautiful, I'm not going to butcher Sonia's artwork, but you see how it's matte, isn't it? But you see these white marks that Sonia, mixed media, brilliant. So you've got enamel accents, right? Black and white. And you can make, this is really cool. I'll show you something, right? Because I had a little go earlier because I thought, I got to know how it works. Right, so I'll show you. I wanted to see how it comes out. So I just put it on a bit of like rubbish artwork that I did just to see how quickly it dries. So it dried in about half an hour, and it's like proper little enamel buttons. And then I thought, okay, so how thick can I go with this stuff? How thick can I go with this? So then I got another piece of artwork that I'd already done, and I made the fox, I enameled the fox. So now the fox really looks like, do you see? It's actually protruding off the page. It's really glossy and it's really hard, and it's set like enamel. So it's like faux enameling. It's exactly what it says on the tin. And it's got this little precision tip. And I was just looking at this and I was thinking, yeah. So this would be the place, and I'm not going to do it because it would be disrespectful to Sonia's artwork. But these little dots, for example, this would be the perfect place to put a white enamel accent. So there you go. We've got 200 of them in the cupboard, and they're on the website. And I challenge you to tell me what you do with them, because Eileen said we need them. I'm figuring it out by myself. And she actually did say that she's going to she's going to do a project for me when she gets time to show me. But I think I'm probably just about working it out by myself. Yeah, I get it. This would be the exact kind of artwork that would work really well, wouldn't it? See, now everything I look at, I'm thinking, yeah, white enamel there. You see? It's very lovely artwork, though. Sonia Goodliff again. So you got white, you got black. See, now you could put the little black dots, black enameling. That's lovely. Sheila Metzeler. That's not Jane Telford. Deborah Wheeler. What's the name of this kind of artwork when you what's the name of this kind of artwork when you chop it up and then shuffle it across like that? Look at that, and that's smashing. I'm going to put that to one side. There is a name for this. What is it, please? Are they good? So this would be another one that would be great for black and white enameling. See? You could enamel the butterflies and her. I tell you what I was using to get into the tight spots on that fox's head. I was using a mapping pen to just get it into the points. It smooths really lovely. These are gorgeous, aren't they? Look, Sheila again. Just to say, that's that little set of stamps. Nice artwork, friends. Thank you so much. Breaks over. Love that artwork. What? No, not weaving. I know it's not weaving, Annie. There's another name for it. Weaving, I would have worked. I know that one. There's another name where you get the artwork and then you shuffle it along and then you chop it again. I've even done it in pottery. I've done it in pottery. There's a special name for it. I'm glad you've explained about the enamel accents. I bought some because Eileen said they were good. I know. See? I understand. How many? Hang on a minute. Jane, how many did you buy? That's right. You bought a pair. I bought 200 pairs. Who's foolish, you or me? I know. But that's all right, because I actually like them. I actually like them. I think they're good. Bargello. Thank you. How do you say it? Bargello. Bargello. Now, Deborah Wheeler said it's called. Okay. So now we need with the phonetic transcription. Bargello sounds a bit London. That sounds very Croydon. What about Bargello? Bargello. Come on. We need We need the Gracie. Get your old app out for pronunciation. Bargello. I knew there was a special name for it. Right, folks. Break's over. Off we go again. Ready? Flowers first. I bet I could use that white enamel, but I'm not gonna. You don't ever do Bargello. Bargello. Is that what you really think? Bargello or right, we're narrowing it down now. Bargello or Bargello? Lisa, we know it's Bargello. We just want to know where the intonation is now. Is it Bargello or Bargello? Is it tortellini or tortellini? Bargello, Jackie reckons. Jacqueline. I got to go and see my mate Linda in a minute. She'll be wondering why she bothered coming all the way from Wales and I'm just talking rubbish. Bargello. Bargello. Broke. Here we go. Google says Bargello. Thank you, Karen. Bargello. Do we even actually know what we're talking about? Let me just refresh your memory, just in case you were wondering. Bargello. Okay? It's where you cut things up and then you shuffle them along. Bargello. Nice on toast. Oh, Lillian, you are so nice on toast. See there, Jackie's got ice cream going. Sounds like ice cream now. You two. I don't know what we would do without those two, do you? Jacqueline and Lillian, they're like a pretty comedy pair. Right, come on, let's tart up Hamlet. Couple of dots. Yes, a couple of dots on the Hamlet shelf. Lighten up that end. God, that looks so good, Gray. Even if I say, just one Bargello, give it to me. a bar that sells Jello. Bargello. I don't know. Can you imagine if we all went on holiday together? I don't think we'd ever be allowed back in the country. All right, there you go. That's that. That wasn't too tricky, was it? Right, so we've done that, and that. Now, the last thing we need to do is stamp that on a bit of card. Have we got a scrap? I should hope so. I've got a room full of scrap. And there is an S at the beginning of that word. Let's have a look. Scrap. So proud of you. Cool, we could get the birthday card done now, except it's all the wrong books. Thinking of you. Happy birthday. I'm going to do a happy birthday one, just in case I run out of time. Happy birthday. A little bit of a anti-wobble stamp there. I'm going for coffee. I mean ink pad. I'm not going for a coffee. Right. Bargello. I'm never going to forget that. Let's see what we got. Right. Happy birthday. That's rubbish. Right, we'll go again. I think we need it to be a bit darker. Okay. Darker. Now we're going for what's it called? Sepia. That's better. Much happier with that. Right, so coffee, not so good. Sepia, bingo. And then I need to cut it out. I'm going to do it on the guillotine down here. How are you doing? Good? Bargello. That's the only thing I'm going to remember from tonight. Oh, crikey. I'll tell you what. If you can't laugh at yourself, it's the golden rule, isn't it? Don't take yourself so seriously. There you go. Perfect. That'll do, donkey. Right, happy birthday. Okay. I think that's fine. I think I need a sliver off that end. Just a sliver, friends. That'll do. Okay. Now, what about, I think this is probably the best way to do this. I need a little bit of copy paper. Bargello. When I used to live in Germany, I had Italian friends. And they used to run a restaurant. Antoinetta and Giovanni. And honestly, I used to think they were always shouting at each other. Well, they were always shouting at each other. But I mean, I thought they were always having a row, you know, like, because they would really be going for it. And you know, and like proper in the middle of the restaurant, and you'd be like, whoa, you know, Giovanni and Antoinetta are having a go again. And, you know, she was just asking him if the tiramisu was in the fridge, you know, but it just sounded like they were going for it. And they were just so animated and always yelling. Bargello. Yeah. Happy birthday. There you are. So now that, check this out. How easy is that? That sits on there like that. Love, love. That looks good there. Hey. Right, so now Grace has come in with her book. She says that, right, how to pronounce Bargello in English. She says that you are completely off with your pronunciation, you lot. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Right, you ready? I'm going to turn this up. I accept. Right, UK.
Bargello.
Bargello. That was pretty good. Should we go again? No, not me PayPal. Right.
Bargello.
Bargello. Well, it's very English for Bargello, isn't it? We're putting a little bit of Italian into it, Grace. A little bit of Bargello. We actually are right on the money. Okay. Right. Happy birthday. Grace is like, what are you doing? I know your mother's lost the plot, Grace. Okay. I need help. I mean, the good news is I did clear away the Christmas presents from Dave's armchair today. What is it? It's only March. No, it's not quite March yet. Blimey, how embarrassing. Right, there you go. So that's that. And then we've got a 7x7 card. This would be lovely. So we'll just take that out of the way. Right, we've done all that. And then we're going to pop that on there like so. But to do that, see, I like it with quite a lot of white around it, don't you? I just think it looks better with a bit more, yeah, because it's quite a busy centerpiece, isn't it? So if I come out a little bit, I think it's really nice. So on there. So come on then, project completion. This one doesn't take long. Where did I put? Bear with. Where did I put the? There they are. Right. I just need. That's not it. That must be it there. I think that's the one, folks. I think if I pop that one on there like that, it's quite big, isn't it? I don't think I've got a smaller one than that. No, what's that one? Oh, that one might look better. Let's check this out. That's better. It's tighter. I think the tighter the better, if you know what I mean. I think that's going to look better. Yours. Okay, not that one. It's too big. All back in the bag. Right. So front page. Bit of masking tape. I don't know what I'd do without the masking tape, honestly. Right, bit of masking tape, low tap masking tape. Put it in the middle where you want to see it. Yeah, that'll do. Right, that'll do. And then I'll tell you what I will do though, just because I don't know what's been on this table. Let me just turn this over. Right, and then I'm just going to find the edge with my finger. That'll do. And I can always use a blending pen to do this if I can't find the edge, because I know in a minute you're going to say, oh, I can't do that with my thumbs. Right, so I'm just going to dig in until I feel the edge. There it is. That'll do. Then I can see the soft nib. It's great for this because it just shows you exactly where the edge is without spoiling the card. Right, and then I need a number 2 tool. See, number 2 tool, not the one with the ball, the one with the little ball at the end. Right. Oh, come around the corner and then turn the card, the paper, rather than the card. So that way, this will be good. And then down we go, around the corner. And then we go again. And then we carefully peel off the masking tape. That'll do. Really nice. So just take that down like that. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. Back in its little bag again. Sorted. And that one. And then we're going to put this one in. So I'm going to do this actually. I'm actually going to finish this off. So I'm going to take the companion paper that I've cut, which is about 1/2 inch bigger than the 4x4. Pop that in the center. Let me just get that in the right place. It's going to sit well there. That's that. So that's in. And then this is the new one now. That's the old one. So proud of you. Let's do the one that we just did. Right, that'll do. Happy with this. Very happy with this. It's just very relaxing to do. Very simple, repetitive process. And it looks nice that way around as well, you know. You wanted to... This is the clincher now. Have you got a pile of books or have you got a bookshelf? If you put it on like that, you've got a pile of books. And do you know what? That looks fabulous too, doesn't it? Just like that. So you could do a pile of books like that. That looks more like my house. Or you could do, that looks pretty good too. I think I'm going to stick to the bookshelf rather than the pile. There you go. Happy birthday, Grace. No, I'll do one with all your books that you've read. I will do that. There we are. And thus endeth the project. I hope you enjoyed that. I think it was a really simple thing. It was great to hang out together. Bargello. Gracie, thank you so much for your help. I'm going to go and find my friend now and enjoy a couple of days in her company. So have a great weekend. Don't forget the sale ends at midnight tomorrow evening, the club member sale. I had a chat to Sue today, and she said that we're getting the orders out double quick this week, which is great. That was the plan, to really double down on picking and packing. So the good news is that they're all flying out the door at the moment. If you want to take advantage of the half price sale, then there's never been a better day than tomorrow. And other than that, I shall see you on Monday, and we'll be drawing those little delightful little birds, the little robins. We'll be finishing those off. So thank you very much for joining me. Grace, thanks ever so much for your help. And I'll be seeing you. Bye. Bye-bye.